Did you?
Yeah. Great. Sorry.
All right. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to the Selectmen's meeting, the 5th of July, 2022, at 5:30. The first item is to review minutes. So we'll start with the 6th of June, 22nd, 2022, the regular minutes. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the 6th, 2022 meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Discussion? If not, we can vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next one is the special meeting on the 21st of June.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the special meeting for June 21st, 2022.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Good. And the last is the minutes of the hearing we had on the 23rd of June for the Neighborhood Assistance Program.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the public hearing that was held on June 21st, 2022.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. At this time, we shall entertain public comment from anyone in the audience.
Is public comment for anything?
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about the meeting later.
You can talk about anything you want.
Yeah, why don't you?
I move up here.
Whatever you want. Whatever you feel comfortable.
I thought the meeting was at 5:30. I apologize. I'm getting a little confused, but let me walk through it. First of all,
Why don't you come? You can come a little closer, and that way it'll be on the recording. So just move the chair. You can bring the chair up. It's fine. You just need to say your name and your address.
what address should I use? The one I'm representing or the one I live in?
Whatever one you want to talk.
Okay. Well, my name is William Randazzo. I represent 52 and 56 Hartford Avenue, and I'm basically down here today to talk to you about your, I guess, what you guys are planning on submitting for the cash, right? And first of all, I want to let everybody know I think it's a great thing, and there's nothing easy what you guys got to do to get that through, because you got to go through a lot of committees, a lot of people. I'm just trying to understand a few things with it. One is the people you selected to get the money now, did they receive PPP?
Are you talking about the American Recovery?
Correct.
No.
So none of those people on there received any PPP?
No.
It hasn't been checked.
There were two types of grants.
Okay, but my point I'm getting at here is I don't like the idea of double dipping, and basically it's like a double dip. If people receive PPP, through when Trump was in president there, and he had a package coming out, and you guys are giving out 33, 35 different grants that's going out. If PPP was initially brought up and they took that, they really shouldn't be eligible for a second bailout.
I don't think.
Did anybody look into this?
No, that was I think it was one of the requirements. So if they already had PPE, they had to.
Well, I looked at the requirements. I couldn't find anything on the application. I might have missed it.
Because you applied for a community initiative grant.
But it's still part of that same thing.
No, it's not. No. It's an economic recovery grant. Economic recovery grant was for businesses and small businesses and nonprofits. And then the community initiative grant had to meet the ARPA requirements.
Yeah.
There were...
All I'm asking is you just take a look at that, make sure that didn't happen, because I hate to see a double dip happen here. I think it's a mistake for everybody in this town, and most likely to the people that didn't get any money, all right? The second thing I want to talk about, is you guys hired a company out of Enfield, I believe?
The consultant? The consultant?
Yes.
Yeah.
The consultant that was actually looking at the money coming in or the application coming in?
Mr. Kribda, yeah.
Okay.
He did the economic recovery grants.
Who did the one I applied for?
That was done by a committee of 12 people.
A committee of 12, okay.
That had been working since your first meeting, like October, right?
About 8 of October of last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I submitted late, but I met the deadline. My question is, look, I applied for a lot of money. I'm not going to lie to you. We all know that. All right? My concern is why didn't one person call me up and said, what are you trying to do here? I mean, we have a beach down on in our beach here at Hartford Avenue, and you guys put my property into the American, Heritage or something Foundation, and if it's in that now, Historical Society, whatever it's in now. And, yeah, that's where you put it in. And, that was in the past 2 years. And I'm just looking saying, God, this guy's asking for that kind of money, and not one phone call could go out to me, my house, my wife, my sons, nothing. I think it's a shame. I really do. Now, you guys are looking up at me like, what? I'm a cry. I don't care if I get the money or not. It's not a big deal to me.
I'm not on the committee, so...
Oh, okay. No. It's not a big deal to me. But the thing is, when you're running a business or something like that, you want to talk to me. That's a lot of money you're looking for there, Bill. Is there anything we can do? Because we want to invest in Hartford Avenue, and we want to make the beach better, and we want to do a lot of different things, but we've got to start somewhere. I'm not giving you that kind of money up front, but we could do this. Since your building's part of this, we'll have it part of this program. I buy that. Talk about that. Okay. I guess the second thing I'm looking at is somebody I was fortunate enough to get a copy of it, and I was looking through the Soundview Hartford Avenue records. All right. I think the community center got a little bit of money, and the Beach Association got some money, and no one else got nothing else, if I'm correct, on Hartford Avenue. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Okay, so what I'm saying is, I don't know how many of those people that were down there actually applied for anything. So I can't sit here and say, you guys didn't do diligence. But I'll guarantee you, I've got a good intuition that multiple people applied for money down there. They got nothing. You guys got one of the best beaches in the state here. In the state. That road would be beautiful. But you guys are not doing nothing. Even as a selectman in this town, you're doing nothing down there.
I would disagree with
well,
that.
I'm going to explain to you so you understand what I'm talking about. Because, something? I don't blame you. You should disagree with me. And you should disagree with a lot of people in this building and the community that are going forward here. And I'll tell you why. See. First, I've been in this building when I bought that property, and I partnered up with Frank Noble on the property side of me, and we wanted to put some type of townhouse or something. I came to this building and the Soundview Commission, I would guess between 8 and 12 times, all around. I got the biggest circle jerk I've ever got in my life coming to this town hall. Usually when I go to town halls where I grew up, right, the town hall was there to help you, not stroke me around. You know what they came up with? Out of all the things they wanted to do? If you want to put something there, I want to see businesses. They want to see businesses. All the committees, your economic committee, your accounting committee, this committee, that committee, they wanted to see businesses. Well, guess what? Could you imagine if I had a business there this weekend, or if I rented anybody in this hall right now, and you close the street down? Right? How do you think that guy's going to feel when he's got like 10, 12 weeks a year to run his business, and you close it down for the weekend?
Why would the street be closed?
You're a selectman, you tell me.
Because of traffic crowding.
Then you do something about it. You don't have this every year.
You can't fit more people in the area.
Then don't force me to run commercial businesses.
We're not forcing you
Yes,
to do
you
anything.
did. I wasn't getting out of here unless I committed
All right,
to commercial.
this is public comment. So
I ain't
we're not
doing my public comment.
Go ahead.
We're having a discussion. And so I'm telling you.
Well,
So, you know.
We're gonna respond. We're just going to, you make your
Okay,
comments.
well, I'll let you live. You know something? I've been very, very blessed in my life. Martha knows my family. I've got a great wife. She's asked me to be my wife in a couple of weeks. She's the matriarch of Navajo Nation. All right? She's at the gap right now, and her niece is taking over. She recommended to me, and I'm probably going to take her suggestion, that my property on Soundview is going to be donated to a church. And that church is going to be her aunt, who runs a church between Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas. And she wants to come up here to be with her niece too. It's going to be a church. And know what she does down there? She has that church open to take care of the underprivileged kids that are inner city kids. And she wants to run camps a good part of the year. So I'm just letting you know. I got to do something with the property. To me, that worked out perfect for me. I get my investment, my write-off, everything else a lot better than I'm going to do with this town. This town is going to have a nice building. I'm going to fix the building up, I'm going to knock the other stuff down, and you're going to have a beautiful community there for these kids. And by the way, not just those kids, it's going to be Native American kids too, because she is Native American. All right? So that's all I wanted to say. Put my on the table, you know what's going on. I've been fighting for 8-9 years to get something down there, and I've got nothing. I got nowhere. And it's just very, very disappointing. And Martha, when you come to me and ask to do, I would love to do anything. I couldn't even get a call from you guys. I couldn't even get a call from you guys about this whole thing, application. Even if you came back and said, Bill, you're out of your mind. I'm not giving you 1.1 million. I'll give you 10 grand, but I want you to do this, do this, do this. You couldn't even do that. I'm done. Thanks.
Anyone else wish to make a comment?
So my name is Leonard Cordo, 33 Hawkins Road. I would also like to make some comments regarding, the Summer and Hartford Avenue and the American Rescue Plan Act. The consultant that you hired, didn't review your town grants. They only evaluated the business ones. And I hear you guys talking about the financial aspect of the cost to operate Soundview, the increases of...
Can I just stop you for 1 second?
I think we lost.
I just want the people on the phone to know that we've lost power at Town Hall, so if you're not hearing us, we're back on.
Probably have to get...
Sorry. Now you should rev back up. Sorry.
Okay. So, you guys talk about the cost increases and charge $75 to park. And, Old Lyme was voted one of the best beaches, or the best beach in the state. And, due to your policies, you have people putting up signs in the community saying, shame on Old Lyme, this is a crime, who are you trying to keep out, etc. And as you can see, you obviously make some people very mad with your policies to the point where they get frustrated and don't want to deal with you at all. And if you think about the financial part of it, every town department got money from your recommendation from the board. From, the assessor's office, EMS, police, fire, this, that, PDA committee. They're getting money for beach mats for the other...
Because they applied for it.
For the other two beaches.
They applied.
Of course.
You don't get money if you apply. So if you don't apply, you don't have an opportunity to get money. Just for the record, that's...
And for the record, they're getting money for beach improvements for 2 town beaches, and Soundview is left out. The Soundview Beach Commission, Operations Committee, and the Soundview Gateway Committee all need money to do the things that they need. Mysteriously not on the list. I'm just wondering, is it just because it's just Soundview, or because all the people on this board wanted the money to go to other things in town, this side of town, And when you charge $75, put no money into Hartford Ave, and then literally the only people who get money is the community center, $10,000 for their, economic and $150,000 for their improvements. And everyone wants to know what did we get a hand wash station so kids could wash the ice cream off? So how come you guys didn't apply on all those boards and commissions for money for Hartford Avenue and Soundview is one of my questions. And, you drive down around town and it's like, oh, kindness matters, old lime, kind. And then you get to Soundview and it's shame, the crime, And I just think you guys owe Soundview much better for being one of the best kept places, one of the best voted beaches. And there's no money from the largest infusion of money to come into this town to go towards recovery. And Soundview is getting nothing. So I think, charge $75 and you're not going to give anyone any money, can you at least pretend to do something else down there? It's supposed to be give and take. We're supposed to get bathrooms for this. We didn't get it. We're supposed to get this, supposed to get that. You guys got to do a better job at evening out. You could have given economic benefits to everyone and lowered your own. You guys are getting, Board of Selectmen is getting a big chunk of money. I think you guys should deviate some of that money to go to build in Soundview, because that's a shame, in my opinion, to have no money going down there, but every board and commission is getting money from this town. So.
Nope. Dennis. Good afternoon. Dennis Maluzzo, 7 Portland Avenue. I've got 3 bugs, and they're going to affect this town. Yesterday, I was coming down Crossroads, and I see 2 big tanker trucks from Connecticut Water, emergency trucks, delivering water. I go to the post office last night to mail 2 letters. I come down on another truck parked in front of Hallmark. What's going on? That's 3 tanker trucks of emergency water spelled out right on the side of the trucks. Nothing from Connecticut Water, nothing from the town, nothing from the health department saying as to what's going on. It says emergency on the truck? It said emergency tank.
You know if they were delivering or if they were taking from there?
They were delivering. To where? To the well field. The what? The well field on Crossroads. Cross Lane. That's where the wells are. That's one thing. As everybody knows, Soundview is slated for sewers. And the daily discharge from Soundview to New London is 50,000 gallons of liquid. That's 50,000 gallons of liquid that don't supply the aquifer that we get our drinking water from. So how long is this going to, if this is the first day of summer and I see minimum of 3, what's going to happen in August when it's 95 degrees and you have just as many people on the beach or coming down to the beach? There's an issue, and I haven't seen anything on Facebook, haven't seen anything because the community center is on Connecticut Water. Nothing to that effect. So that's one of the things I'd like to let you guys know about it. The second one is, and I voted against this, is golf carts in Soundview. We now have golf carts traversing Shore Road.
What?
From Miami Beach. Instead of coming through where they were supposed to, they're coming down Shore Road now. somebody's going to get killed. Especially yesterday. I mean, I was flabbergasted with the traffic that we had yesterday. That these people were just dumb enough to go in a golf cart on a major road. Okay. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but Hawks Nest are town roads. Have the police go down there and they'll ticket a whole bunch of people letting 10-year-olds drive golf carts not registered because the golf cart is only supposed to be for Soundview. My wife is killing me because she wanted me to find a golf cart. And I just have this god-awful fear every time I see a kid on Center Beach Avenue or Prospect Street or Hawks Nest Road. Somebody's going to run into them and they're going to kill a kid because the parents aren't being the only ones allowing that to happen. Okay, and my third one is the Rangers. Good thought process, bad failure. We're paying $19 an hour for kids 18, 19, 20 years old to sit on the ATV and go on the beach, up and down the street, up and down the beach. Totally unheard of. This is not Huntington Beach in California. This is Miami Beach property and Hartford Avenue. Something has to be done. Reel these people in, let them get off the thing. They don't have to walk that far from where the canopy is at the end of Hartford Avenue to get to the water. I've done it, and I'm 3 times their age. So something's going to happen where that vehicle runs into somebody going into the water. Okay. Whether they're being directed to do that, I don't know. Okay. Now, they're also going down Shore Road, but it's a municipal vehicle. If people in golf carts see them doing that, they're thinking they can do that also.
It has a license plate on it. I believe it's registered.
The ATV is registered, correct, like a vehicle. Golf carts are only registered for Soundview. So you might want to look into that also. Okay? But the water business is the one that really scares me. I mean, we had a lot of people this weekend, and the streets were closed because of that. And if we're having an issue with water, then somebody needs to know. Even if they are drawing from the wells, we should know about it because that feeds this. And now Miami Beach is going to be part of the Connecticut water system. Another failure. Connecticut Water has already gone on record to say that they don't have enough water in their reserve to take care of Miami Beach. Okay? Happy July 4th.
Thank you.
I'd like to say, yes, I'm on the phone. Hello?
Name?
Carolyn Miranda, 2 Biscayne.
Go ahead.
I would like to speak about the Connecticut Water Company. I sat on my deck all day yesterday, and there were probably 100 loads. 3 trucks ran all day long for 12 hours, and they also ran again for another 12 hours. They finally have stopped. I called town hall today, and unfortunately, whoever's in the selectman's office is not answering the phone. So I called the health department, and she said she knew nothing about it, referred me back to the selectman's office. I have heard rumor from the person across the street from the wells that the wells were dry and they were trucking in water. So it was Mr. Maluzzo, 3 truckloads times probably 100 truckloads. Okay? My other concern is the golf cart. It's absolutely ludicrous that we have golf carts coming from as far away as Hawks Nest and Miami Beach and flying down the road like they're traffic with the trucks and the other traffic that are still doing 50 and 60 miles an hour in a 30-mile zone. But you're right. The town's going to be liable. Some kids are going to get killed. A lot of people are going to get killed. So I don't know. It's been over a year. When I went to a Selectmen's meeting early June, a year ago, and talked about traffic. And I also talked about traffic again at a Selectmen's meeting when I found out that, Mr. Griswold, you're the chief of police, and I expressed my concerns then about the speeding traffic. We have a 30-mile-an-hour zone here from Columbus Avenue all the way down to probably Sea Spray Road. It's a good, I don't know, quarter mile, half mile. And the traffic just speeds like crazy. I've gone to the police more than one time. I've talked to state police more than one time. I've talked to you at meetings. I actually have talked to Martha, and nothing has changed. And it's not just, passenger vehicles. It's these big, huge, heavy trailer trucks that just fly up and down this road, and I can't believe that we can't patrol this road and get this under wraps. So I'd like to know what you can comment about that in terms of traffic, what is being done, and then please let us know what you're going to do to let townspeople know what's going on with the water supply here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? All right.
Oh, sorry, Gary.
Gary Gregory. I'm very safety conscious, so I agree with that gentleman on safety issues. Also, I think $19 an hour is probably not enough for those.
Well, that's not accurate.
Pardon?
That's not accurate. They're all not getting $19 an hour.
Because working out in that hot sun's a hard job. I don't normally go to the beach in the summer. I was down there once a couple of weeks ago, and I had I've met a ranger, very polite, very professional. I was impressed with the gentleman.
Sandra Butcher, 29 Harvard Avenue. I have written numerous letters. I have made innumerable telephone calls. I do not get them answered. I have called through your office to try to meet with you personally regarding the problems that was created on our property. This is a sidewalk issue. We were told when this started it was going to enhance our property. We had a 2-car driveway. We now have a 1-car driveway. While this was going on, we brought it to the attention of the engineers. The sketch that was given to us did not have any scale. We expected the 2-car driveway back to where it was, where the town had put in the asphalt when they widened the street. They're the ones that had put in the asphalt. Now we have 1 car to get in, and we have a very large family. And when my family comes down, it's a busy street, and it's constantly moving cars. We also waited over a year to get the topsoil, and the topsoil that came in was full of weed. We didn't have any grass. It was supposed to be the rollout grass, sod. And what they did is they planted weeds. We have all kinds of weeds in our yard. We're that much. And the topsoil was full of shells, rock. Nobody was ready for that. And it was a poor situation that was created by the town. The last time the town did some work on our property, it floods our area. And that's when they cleared the road and widened the road. But now this is supposed to create all problems were supposed to be consolidated, and this was supposed to be so much better. Well, we're not satisfied with it. And this was brought to the engineer's attention, was brought to the committee's attention, and nothing has been done. But not only that is, I'm very disappointed. I worked in an office for 40 years. I worked for one of the top lawyers in litigation in Hartford. And I would never push back a phone call of anybody that wanted to make a phone call. I would not push back a meeting. I would schedule it no matter what. And I think that this office of the Selectmen's got to start opening up and hearing the people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. On the phone, if you would mute your phone, we can hear a lot of background noise, please. Okay, the next item is communications. Received a letter from Michael Miller about the Memorial Day parade activity on Town Hall property. This is to the select people. This past Memorial Day, our beautiful town recognized Memorial Day with a community parade and a solemn cemetery ceremony. Memorial Day was first recognized in May 30th, 1868, and was then called Declaration Day. It was created to observe and honor the fallen during the Civil War. Over time, this became a day to honor all of fallen during the service to the country. Whether serving in wartime theater or in peacetime, military service requires young men and women to place themselves in harm's way. We as a nation just lost 5 Marines who died in an Osprey crash in California during training. It was disturbing that the Old Lyme Democratic Party chose to place a pop-up tent and a political signage on the Town Hall lawn and act as Memorial Day was just a campaign opportunity. We are faced with political division all day long from news coverage and sporting events. Memorial Day should be a time when citizens come together for one noble and honorable tradition to pay our respects to those who gave all for us. Respectfully ask that in the future Memorial Day is kept free of politics. Also received a letter from Mary Jo Nozel, and she addressed the board as well. In towns across the state of Connecticut, both Democrat and Republican town committees march, sometimes hand in hand, in their respective Memorial Day parades. On Memorial Day, the Old Democratic Town Committee did something that in most places would seem to be as political and patriotic. They apolitical and patriotic. They simply set up a tent alongside the parade route on town property and handed out American flags, snacks, and hot coffee. All were welcome to receive the free flags and hot coffee regardless of political affiliation. And no candidate or political issue was promoted by the organizers either orally or by signage. No fundraising was done. Petitions were signed, flags were handed out, coffee. That's it. I'm sure this board knows that this action is not the first. Last year, and even pre-pandemic, the DTC did the same thing with no one taking issue and without a single word. That's because standing alongside the side of the parade route and handing out American flags is simply not political. Many would argue that it's kind of a reaction to the solemnity of the occasion demands. I was surprised, therefore, to see that on today's Board of Selectmen meeting agenda, the First Selectman has decided to single out correspondence that is evidently directed at this now annual undertaking by the DTC. Of course, the board can and should take all letters sent to them seriously. However, from my experience, on the board, I know that singling out correspondence on the agenda is at the very least unusual, cannot be deemed as anything but an endorsement by the town of views contained therein. Surely the town of Old does not intend to openly and explicitly endorse the viewpoint critical of the exercise of the well-established First Amendment rights of freedom of assembly and speech found in our Constitution. Surely the town is not going to affirmatively take the facially unconstitutional position that the Republican convention, an explicitly political event, can be held on town hall property, but the Democratic Town Committee should not take the apolitical action of providing flags and coffee. The DTC has never received any correspondence critical of their activities on Memorial Day, but I offer this letter as a counterpoint to the item that as stated on the agenda. And I'm sure that the board has not intended to quell the First Amendment speech rights of the Old Lyme Democratic Town Committee by endorsing one view publicly and omitting the counter-argument. I trust this too will be officially read into the record. Mary Jo Noble. She's chairman of the Democratic Town Committee, was the selectman from 11 to 21. Well, I just think it's, personally I think it's inappropriate to have a tent on town property with signage, be it Republican or Democrat. The town committees meet in the town hall, but I don't think it's appropriate to have the tent emblazoned with the party on it. Yes, certainly people can distribute things along the street, but the town hall is town property. And I think at the very least it should be cleared with the town before it's done. Yeah, I guess it happened. I remember it last year. I don't remember it before. So I have a contrary opinion to the tent itself. If somebody wants to hand out flags and coffee, that's one thing. Move on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, projects, Halls Road improvement. There's nothing to report really. Last meeting, I think we indicated today we'll be going to the Zoning Commission in August to present their overlay, so that's upcoming. Soundview sidewalks, I believe that project is moving along. I think work has been, I haven't heard a new completion date, but I think they're moving pretty smartly, and we're going to have to do our documentation to make sure everything's coming out correctly monetarily and so forth. That should hopefully be fine.
Jim, I do know, not noted this weekend, but the weekend before, that there were church parking going on in the transit hub area. I didn't know if you were aware of that, but
no.
They parked on newly planted grass seed.
Okay.
That kind of defeated the purpose of planting grass.
Yeah, we probably need to notify the church.
Because they're supposed to ask for permission, right? If they're having some type of an event or something. I mean, they're really not supposed to park there
some time ago, the Catholic Church used to park
Yeah.
across the street, but that's when it was pretty rustic.
Right. But
No.
now they're not supposed to park there.
And I think just as we learned, reminded, I guess, that when we were considering some parking to be there for some of the Soundview businesses, that wasn't allowed. So I think we need to let the church know that accommodation likely will not be available. I suppose if something major comes along, they could talk about it. But you're right, if it's new grass and so forth, they should stay off of it.
So, do you want me to remind you to write a letter to the church?
Yeah, well, I need to get the contact information, I guess, from the...
Okay.
Next is the Soundview Sewers. I've not heard anything new about that. I know there's some behind-the-scenes work trying to line up some additional grant funding, but I haven't heard anything there. This is a real problem. The costs for the project have just really ballooned, and I think the private have indicated they really paramount that they obtain some additional funding, or other would not proceed with their improvements, and the town would be hard pressed too, even though we have a bond approved for that, which has not been activated. The senior center expansion, I talked with the chair, and they are collecting. The architect is working on the documentation for the design work, and that contract will be available for the committee, and then the two towns will be asked to review it and execute the paperwork. And this would be the design work. Ferry Road sidewalks, I distributed a spreadsheet trying to get an update as to where we are. We had all told $210,000 from the beginning of the project to present, and we have spent so far about $25,600. And the estimate from the engineer for the construction and design work and a couple of other things is plus what has been done, totaled about $220,000, and that includes a contingency of $23,100. So. Which is about a 14%, I believe. So that's, you don't know where that will come in. But really, this is conjecture until we actually go out to bid. We don't know where this whole project will come. The alarm increases in the cost of things. So it might be that we'll attempt to obtain some bids and see where the cost numbers come in, and if acceptable. On that phone, would you please mute it, or I'm just going to have to hang up.
People who are on the phone need to mute their phones. We can hear your children talking in the background.
When are bids expected to go out to? RFPs, have they done bidding? When's the bidding process going to happen?
Well, you'd have the bid documents and you go out to bid. And
when is that expected, though? You wanted to start working?
I think, talk to the engineer, but I think if we went out toward the latter part of summer, because the original thought, well, not the original, but the latest thought would be if we did the work after Labor Day, say October or even November, that would be a reasonable time frame, get the busy summer taken care of. And so I think it'd be worthwhile to go out to bid. If we were lucky and some acceptable bids came in, we could proceed. If they were really outlandish, then it would be a question of what do we do? Do we look for more money internally?
So we're expecting to do that in August then, so we can have it ready by September?
I think probably. I'll talk to the engineer and see. And it's also depending on how busy contractors are. Now, maybe with high prices, people might be looking for work, so that it's not a very large job in the big scheme of things. So we'll try to see if we can get some more clarity.
I noticed that on this it says the tree feedings are done by Bartlett. So was that already sent up? I know it's under $5,000, but how many trees are we feeding? I know we were going to talk about some shaving some roots, so I was assuming that those are but how many trees are we feeding for $2,100 each time?
the number would change because since we did the original feeding, we've changed the mix of the trees that would be slated for removal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if anything, it would be slightly less than that number for the second one.
Okay.
We got the one feeding in, and the shaving and the pruning, it's a little tough on the trees.
Yeah, I understand. You have to prep them.
Yeah, so, and probably we could hold until we understand when the work would be done. I don't know how much time you need to have between feeding and doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
But if the project were delayed, say, till spring or something, then maybe that would change the schedule for the feeding. But it would be another $2,100.
But it might be less because it's fewer trees.
I think slightly less, yeah, not noticeably, but,
Just a lot of...
Yeah. Swan Brook outlet, I spoke with contractor and said we can proceed with the project because it's in the town budget as well as in the if ARPA is successful, so we can get that.
And are you going to do that during the summer?
Doing what?
Swan Brook, the outlet. Are you doing that this summer, or are you going to wait until after the season is over?
I think it would be fruitful to see if we could get it done. He forecast it would be about a 10-day period to fix it. So he has to line up the materials and then work with the tides, because you have to work at low tide to do the work.
And the beach community members know that they'll be down there? I mean, I don't know what's needed for trucks.
I think they could perhaps work on one side or the other side and, cordon off a bit of space. I think when they're not physically working, the machinery, I don't know how much machinery, if it's probably air tools and that sort of thing, it might not have a big yellow machine sitting there all the time, because they're going to put new boards on the pilings that exist, and so I don't think they're going to need great big machinery there. So
okay.
Now let's see. Under Soundview, I was talking with with Frank Papalardo, and let's see. There he was talking about some possible revisions to the regulations, and Dennis mentioned this, but crossing Route 156 Shore Road is only allowed Hartford Avenue to and from Hartford Avenue Extension, Portland Avenue from Portland Avenue Extension, Swan Avenue to and from Swan Avenue Extension, and Soundview Avenue, a.k.a. Old Colony Road Extension, to and from Old Colony Road. So it's a perpendicular type crossing. They're not supposed to be
traveling
along the side of the road, or diagonally and so forth, or crossing in other spots. So that I haven't seen any more than just this possible proposal. So I think there's going to be a meeting of that group, I think next week.
Monday, the 11th, I believe.
Is it Monday or Wednesday?
It's Monday. I thought it was Wednesday as well, but I was told today by Paul it was Monday.
So I'm not sure who actually enacts the revision, but that's coming up. And there was also some conversation about the general fee structure. I think it would be fruitful if we could get an idea of how the revenue has been coming in We know that the parking permit fees for the private lots increased, but whether the cost of the parking spaces has reduced revenue markedly, notwithstanding the cost that the unit cost is up. If there's a lot less cars parking, we'll have to get a handle on that. Part of the whole plan was to evaluate whether Miami Beach might receive some help with their security. As we know, the checking of coolers can be done by the security firms that work for the private beaches, particularly Miami. Our police cannot do that. So that is an important task, and if that were not available, that could be problematic for us. So, and I know, Frank, in the whole initial discussion, there was some thought to, could Miami receive an increase in money for their security? So it's a discussion point that needs to happen.
Can I just ask a question, just because I've been trying to spend time down at Soundview, but who is ultimately in charge of saying when the lot closes? I know when it gets full, it's supposed to close, but who determines?
The parking lot?
Yeah, when it gets filled.
It's probably either Officer Collins or Resident Trooper, depending on who's down there.
Okay, and then who determines when it reopens? Same people? Okay, because there were 10 slots. I walked through the lot empty, but it was closed. And the girl said, you have a challenge pass, you can get in. And I said, that's okay. I just wanted to know why it was closed.
During the day?
It was during the day.
It was probably,
And it was
I can't speak for them, but I know,
I know.
On Monday when all the town lot was closed, they were directing people specifically to private lots, and we went around and found private lots that had spots and said, hey, you can park here, and then I think they kind of waited for it. I don't know why it shouldn't be. If there's open spots, you should reopen it.
I just think that the rangers are intelligent enough to know that if the three or, maybe they say to them, if there's more than 5 available spots that come open the gate.
Right.
Because it just seems like that just causes more traffic anyways, because people go to turn in, then they can't, then they got to stop, pull out. And so I just think that the rangers should be given a little bit of leeway on when to reopen them and not have to wait, because I know that our police department is out doing other things. They're not just standing counting empty spots.
Yeah, there's probably, 2 rangers involved with the lot?
I'm not sure the rotation.
I think there's somebody at Harvard Avenue and somebody at the back gate, maybe.
There's one by the tent, by the kiosk, to make sure that people go and pay, and then I think they go around. And they go around and check to make sure that we actually, all weekend, I think they were going around and seeing how many spots were open. Everything was full. That's when they kind of had to come up with plan B. And people were at the top of the streets. Someone complained earlier about businesses, but they were saying, where are you trying to go? You're trying to go to the beach, there's no parking. You're going to, Kokomo's, your reservation. Like, they're trying to accommodate people. But.
Right. Did they get the phones to use with the parking kiosks? Do you know if the phones have been established for the rangers so that they can adequately know when people have over? I don't know if that had taken place. I know they were looking for them a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I can't answer that. I'm not.
Okay.
Sure.
I just want to make sure they have them because it helps with ticketing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that new system that we had to employ is working well, huh?
Yeah, no complaint. I haven't heard about any connectivity issues or anything, so I think it's working good.
Good.
Okay, turning to Tanemage Landing. Regrettably, I've been pushing our lawyers to see some real action on that, and there's really nothing to report at this time. They are working very hard, I know that, but in terms of coming up with some real information for people, it's just not available yet. So we keep saying this, it sounds like a broken record, but we have to be patient, and there's a lot at stake here. So we're doing our due diligence and spending legal money, and we're really pushing to make sure this comes out right. So we'll just have to wait, unfortunately.
Do we know what they're doing, the lawyers?
The lawyers are actually working internally under almost like an executive session type thing. So,
because I know somebody that could go track that down, Amanda, she does ROI.
Yeah. Well, we really don't know much, and they're keeping, they're doing stuff, but in terms of telling us exactly what and all, we're precluded from being too. I mean, we don't have much to impart. I don't, at least. So we'll wait till the next.
Are they going to report what they're finding to somebody here in the town, so see if we kind of agree with it, if they've done it the right way at all?
I think when whatever they're doing is complete, they will definitely have a full meeting to explain everything. But not yet.
I mean, I got involved with this when it first happened, and I went up, had to go to the line to get the plot plan up there in 1934. That whole thing was big note on there, given to the town of Lyme. I think it was at that time, town of Lyme, by the Jones brothers. Each gave half of that. But I do know at that point in time.
Yeah, well, great minds are working on this historical stuff, and it's 300 years of information that needs to be evaluated. So, we're burning the midnight oil.
But it will be made public.
Yes.
Yes.
Button Ball Road. We had a good meeting the other day with representatives from the four commissions and boards. Do you want to say anything on that?
No, I think it was productive. I think we're going to appoint them at some point, I guess.
Yeah,
There's two people from the inland wetlands, two people from open space, and two people from harbor management. And they came and we all sat down and just talked about ideas about the place and what's the best process to go forward with it and what we think the next step should be. And I think we came up with some agreement of some immediate steps that need to be taken.
Mm-hmm. I think there was also consensus that a survey of the property should be undertaken.
Right, with certain elevation points, different other points there. I also think that we're planning the subcommittees there planning to do a site walk on Thursday, 5:30, just to go down and see physically if there's anything we can do now to the property without disturbing anything, and just to get a visual of what's there. Because you look at maps, you look at different things, but it has been partially surveyed. I believe it's tagged. When the abutters property's already been tagged or posted or marked or whatever, from what I understand.
So they're doing that this Thursday?
Correct, 5:30.
5:30?
This Thursday.
Correct.
What?
It's town property.
Yeah. Yeah, what we might do is toward the end, maybe I'll get my list of the members and might put on the agenda the appointments of people from the
Under other business.
Yeah.
You might want to notify Blackhawk.
Well, it's mainly to see the property, I think. I don't think it's to make any conclusions. It's to view it, because I think a lot of people...
My understanding at site walks, you're not supposed to really... You're getting the information. You're gaining information, and you're not making decisions, and you shouldn't be conducting business and just learning the information.
The survey markers that are there are just preliminary, they're not.
I understand that. That's what, I understand that. We still are going to have a survey done on our own, so we're not just going by those markers.
Okay.
All right. Turning to new business, in a little while we're going to have the special town meeting to consider the American Rescue Plan funding disbursements. That'll be at 7:30 here, so all are welcome to hear that. It was considered by the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance at a joint meeting, and it was recommended by those two boards for favorable action by the town meeting. We want to bid farewell to Dan Bourret, our land use administrator. He has taken a job with the town of Portland as a planner, and that leaves an opening. It's been difficult to find a replacement. Some of these municipal positions are just not very many of them available, so we're continuing to search. And Phil Parkak, who has been our facilities director, he went on to more enjoyable things than I expect as of the 1st of July. So we have a new Tom Meyer has come on, and he seems he's very busy in getting familiar with what's what. I think he's going to be a very thorough person to take over that position. He will also assist with some of the information technology requirements that we have. I did mention the land use. We're continuing our search there, and
We did get a new resume today.
Okay.
Yep. So
Good. The next item is many of us enjoyed the Oldham Arts District Oldham Stroll, Make Music, Southeastern Connecticut on the 21st of June. I think it was from the Art Academy down to, I think, the church. So it was a fabulous time. There were a lot of people on the street, and lions were set up across the street, dishing out food, and the town band was there. So that was outstanding. So we thank the Arts District and Cheryl in particular who spearheaded that.
So you need a motion to amend the agenda. You want to make those?
Yeah, I think if we could consider making appointments to a committee, which would be, I guess, the 36-1 Button Ball Road Committee.
There you go. So I will make a motion to amend the agenda to include under other business the appointment of members to the 36-1 Button Ball Road Committee.
Ooh. A second? Second. Okay. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we'll just take a little break here, and I'll go get my list.
You may know them. Do you think we can brainstorm them? I think.
No, we don't want to make a mistake.
Spread. Barnes. We don't want to make it.
Okay, so from the Open Space Commission, we have Michael Arulia and Fred Behringer. From the Harbor Management Commission, we have Sloan Danenauer and Michael Barnes. From Inland Wetlands, we have John Measham and Michael Miller. And I would invite the Selectmen to be members if they would care to be.
Happy to.
Ex officios.
So those are the three other commissions and boards. Or I guess they're all commissions.
So I would make a motion to appoint Michael Aurelio, Fred Behringer, Sloan Danenauer, Michael Barnes, Mike Miller, and John Measham to the 36-1 Buttonball Road Committee.
A second.
And then maybe ex officio could be the select people.
And I'll amend to include select people as ex officio members.
Second that.
Okay, we've moved and seconded that. Any discussion on it? All right, all in favor?
All right.
Thank you.
Who is sort of like in charge of communications for that person? Did anybody sort of get appointed as?
No, we haven't got that.
Let me inquire with Fred Behringer, just out of, because,
At the last, I'll take the minutes if we need to, that's fine. So, when we have our next meeting, so.
Yeah. I just meant like somebody who would be sending out meeting notices,
right,
et cetera.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So, may we, all who favor the motion say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Any other business?
I just had a couple of things. Just wanted to say the Old Line PD, the Resident Trooper's Office, the FD, the EMS, the Rangers for a busy weekend. I know I had a lot of calls. They did a really good job. They worked a lot of long hours. And very appreciative of a few minor instances here or there, but they handled it well. I know you can't please everybody, but I think they did a good job with what they had. Just an update, they're still working on that veterans proposal for the tax exemption. I'm trying to get a spreadsheet together to present to the selectmen to come up with a plan, get some information. We all attended the Soundview Beach Association parade on July 2nd. It was a great turnout. Honestly, the first time I've ever been there in 17 years, and I had a really good time. And it was just nice to see the kids out there have some fun and great prizes for everybody. Everyone was really in the spirit, which is nice to see.
We appreciate all of you attending.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was great fun.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad the sun wasn't out.
It's called Old Town.
And I think just an update. We had that HR position. We're trying to determine what the description is, and I consulted with Nicole and Amy, and we're going to consult with a couple of people in town hall to do a description and hopefully present it to you guys and come up with a plan to get that done sooner than later.
Great.
There is some funding now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
July 1st.
Take some stuff off some people's plates.
Right, and I would also just say that Matt and I have been working hard on the Shoreline Gateway Committee, and all the towns should be aware that there'll most likely be a survey coming at the end of August or early September. And so even if you are not a full-time resident of the town, but we will make sure that you get get postcards and information out, so before you leave for the season, that you'll still be able to come in and give us your information. Big part.
Also want to mention that the Midsummer Festival will be Saturday the 30th of July. Actually, Friday, the Swan School will have a concert on the lawn behind the museum there, down near the river. And then the day of course, there's a lot of activity up and down the street. And then we have resumed the fireworks behind the middle school. Should probably get there 9 o'clock, and to see the fireworks. So that'll be fun. We had the
White Elephant event this weekend. Isn't the White Elephant event?
Yes, the tag
That's
sale.
coming up. Yeah.
9th and 10th?
Yep.
8th and 9th. 8th and 9th, excuse me.
All right, anything else? If not,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
okay, it's 6:40 p.m.
I will second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right.
Is it